My name is Ms. Vanoy, and I'm your writing teacher, and I'm popping into your ELA class to help out with one of the most essential writing format structures that you're going to use in middle school and beyond that will really help you when you're answering a question like on a test. It'll help you when you're asked to write essays. It'll help you just to get your thoughts together and think, even when you're just having like a conversation argument with somebody where you're able to give evidence and elaborate and really explain what you want to say and get that across to whoever it is that's reading what you've wrote or listening to what you've put together. So you all have done lesson 1 with your teachers, and now we're on to lesson 2, and we've now gotten introduced to that ToSEEC formula. Now I have it on here, and it's kind of small, so let's try to pop it up really big here. And right here it asks us to write down what we think the function of each part of the ToSEEC paragraph might be, given the name of that of each section of it. Now we know topic sentence stands for topic statement, or the TOS stands for topic statement, topic sentence. Think about this. What is the function to a topic sentence? It's here to tell us what it's all about. It tells us the topic in one word, basically. That one word topic is going to be included, and it's going to tell us what it is that we're trying to answer. What is this whole paragraph that we're writing about? Then the next parts are asking us what is evidence and what is elaboration. Evidence is like directly from the text that's telling us that supports the answer. Elaboration is when we put what we found in the text in our own words to explain the evidence. And then concluding sentences where you wrap it all up and you tie it all up. I think of it often as the mirror to your topic sentence. Now, the second part, at the very bottom of that page, and of course it's really, really small right there, is giving you an example of what an answer would be. If the question's going to be, what kind of hardships did Bud encounter in chapter 2, you'll need to have a topic statement. So we know it's about Bud's hardships. Well, what about Bud's hardships? That's how we're going to come up with the topic statement. So I've got it right here. And notice I have these colors on here. I know that your teachers have these posters up in their rooms. Of course, you don't see them right now if you're distance learning, but you'll see them, like maybe they'll have it posted on their Google Classroom as resources. Some students really like that visual, the color coded there, to be able to tell exactly, just glancing at it, they can see. So you see how the green comes first. The topic sentence or statement is the very first thing. Then you've got evidence, elaboration. Now you repeat the evidence and elaboration because you want to give sufficient evidence. So that means at least 2 pieces of evidence and 2 elaborations of that evidence so that you're able to explain yourself fully. And then there's a concluding sentence statement, which again is a reflection, a mirror to the topic sentence, and ties everything up with a pretty little bow because that's the last thing the reader is going to read. So I've got everything written out where I answered what his main hardships were in chapter 2 of Bud Not Buddy. It's because he's trying to protect himself. So I have to ask myself, well, how is he trying to protect himself? So I have to go back to the text and find exactly where Bud is trying to protect himself. Now, when you're reading a novel, my tip for you is to think to yourself before you even go back and look, think, okay, I know he was doing it when he was protecting himself when he did this, this, and this. Well, then I got to think, okay, what part of the book or the chapter did that happen? Then kind of flip towards those pages. That's the part where you've got to search to find the best piece of text evidence that supports that. The first piece of text evidence we found was Buzz has to defend himself when Todd bullies him by throwing a punch. And then here's the quote. Todd falls to the ground like he has been cold cocked. Now notice in red, this is something that may be new to you guys in middle school, but your teachers want you to make sure that you cite where you found it. That 13 stands for the page number that you found it on. So the evidence is on 13. Notice how there's 2 parentheses around that 13. Next in yellow is Bud will not let anyone abuse or insult him. So basically you found that piece of evidence, and I would even encourage you to use a text frame if you're struggling putting this all together. And you could say, I know he defended himself because Todd falls to the ground like he's been cold cocked after he's been punched because he had to punch somebody. This shows that Bud will not let anyone abuse or insult him. Then I had Next, however, another piece of evidence, you could use a transition word like however or next or the second reason, but also knows that being brave is kind of stupid. And that was found on page 13, and hides under the bed to get away from Todd before he gets badly hurt. So in other words, that's what elaboration is. In other words, like how would you explain it in your way? Bud defends himself by fighting back until he realizes he can't win. So this shows, when he says this, it shows that he will defend himself until fighting back until he realizes he can't win it. Concluding statement to tie it all up, Bud protects himself by being both brave and smart. And there was 2 pieces of evidence that explain both of those. Now, here's what it looks like without the color codes, and it's just like labeled topic, evidence, elaboration. Then I wanted to show you what it would look like if I just highlighted the color-coded system that you're going to work with within your classes. Again, the green and the orange are on the top and the bottom, and you're going to see that blue and yellow twice in the middle. Now, this is one way I have taught students in the past who like to have something in their hands, something visual they can actually touch and use when they want to do some pre-writing with ToSEEC. Pre-writing is a good way to kind of get your thoughts together. You don't have to write the whole thing out that way, but there's something about having this visual. And I'm going to hold this up. Just grab any piece of paper. See how I just ripped out this paper? And what I do, and I've got another video on it more specifically if you want to go look on my channel. I always tell people to do a hot dog fold, 2 hamburgers folds. Then when you open it back up, hold on. Well, I can't get that folded. Okay, then when you open it back up, you're going to see you've got 2 columns and 4 rows. Now, to make it look like this with that green top, which is your topic sentence, and then the 2 evidence, elaboration, and then conclusion, what I would do is I'm going to draw, let's see if I've got a good marker. I'm going to draw all 4 lines horizontal. So I'll show you. Let me get it down here and do it. Or excuse me, it won't end up being 4. It ends up being 3 horizontal across lines. That's really messy, but you can kind of see from there. Then I'm going to draw the middle line just through the middle 2 columns. That way it gives me this big long block for my topic sentence to pre-write of evidence, elaboration, and then my conclusion. So if you could imagine this was folded up into a piece of paper. If I have to do it online, I always just make this same, light's gone off. I always make this same table to kind of organize my thoughts this way. Then this is what it looks like if I took that pre-write and I color-coded it. Here's that topic sentence. Now notice even visually how the evidence and elaboration, well, first of all, evidence and elaboration are side by side. So you know that this evidence that you put, you've got to go on and elaborate and explain it right there. It's kind of like when a teacher tells you it's not long enough or you need more evidence or more details. A lot of times students are like, okay, but what does that mean? What do I need to write? And sometimes they make the mistake of just copying random words down from the text. What that means is that you need to be able to say it in another way. You find the evidence and then you explain that evidence. You elaborate. So you use like maybe a text frame like this shows. Let's see if I can even, my computer's kind of lagging. Well, it put it in the wrong part. This shows that Bud, what just happened? Will not let anybody insult him. Okay. Then also, so you see this blue and the yellow go side by side and they're kneaded together, but notice how they hold up that topic sentence. These are the support that prove that. So every piece of evidence you find, you need to go back and ask yourself, does this support that he protects himself? Does this support that he protects himself? Does this explain how he protects himself? Does this elaborate, explain how he protects himself? So you can kind of think of that process too. And then notice visually, if you look at this pre-write, that orange conclusion sentence is at the very bottom. Again, it looks like a mirror. If you folded it in half, it would touch each other of your introduction, and it supports everything that you've written. That conclusion is going to go back over and summarize very quickly what the main central idea was. So this is just kind of a brief analysis of your handout 2B. If you look at this, maybe this will help you some before you move on to write your own ToSEEC. If you have any questions, never hesitate to contact me. I'm here right along with your ELA teachers to help. So hopefully this helps. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Get on my email, Google Classroom, whatever. I'm here for you too. You have a great day. Thanks. Bye.